Welcome back to my whiskey channel. My name's Jason Debley, and tonight we're going to review a famous, well-known, probably one of the most famous Speyside single malt Scotch distilleries, and that is Macallan. Macallan is a Speysider famous for their great, rich sherry oak single malts. We are going to look at what is called the Macallan 12-year-old Double Cask. It's a new release. I think it's been out about a year. And what's interesting about the Double Cask is that Macallan, which I think has been going through a little bit of schizophrenia for a while there, Macallan, or the owners, Edrington group, were going towards no age statement. So they had a couple of years ago, and I think they just discontinued it, the 1824 series. And that was a series of no age statement single malts that had gold, amber, ruby, sienna as different labels. Sienna was very good. Others were not so good. They also had a fine oak series, a 10-year-old, which was just, I thought, terrible. And Macallan for a while has not been performing very well. And so they've come out with this new double cask concept. And what that means is, what they've done here is they take American oak. They own actually forests, extensive forests in the US of prime oak forests. And what they do is they take that oak, they send it to Spain, they make some barrels or casks, then they put some sherry in those casks, season it for a period of time, a couple of months or a year, and then they get the sherry out, send the casks to Scotland, to the distillery. In goes the Macallan single malt spirit. It's aged for a minimum of 12 years, and then it's blended with the traditional Macallan spirit that's aged in European sherry oak casks. So we're going to try it tonight. I have a couple bottles here. You're probably thinking, why? Well, I'm in Canada, and my first exposure to this new bottle was from my cousin. Her husband, Greg, bought me a bottle of this in Houston, Texas. And this is the American edition of the 12-year-old Double Cask, which is bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. And it's very good. I mean, I'm going to cut to the chase. I like this new release. The 43% gives it nice punch, complexity, very good. Then I get back to Canada and I buy it here. The difference, alcohol by volume, is 40%. Same format, 750 milliliter, but it's lower ABV. And the question is, does that impact taste? And the answer is yes. Why would Macallan or the Edrington Group and other distilleries or multinational companies that own whiskey brands do this? The reason they do it is, they say, because of regional tastes. Maybe Canadians prefer 40% and the UK prefers 40% alcohol by volume, but the Americans prefer 43%. Hard to say. That's what I've heard as the official line. I think it's all what they can get away with in the marketplace. So, where are my glasses? There's my whiskey glass. We're going to try the 43% side by side with the 40%. I just opened this bottle tonight, another 40% from Canada, and I thought we'd try a nice new one rather than one that's half full and oxidized. Cork stopper. So the 43%, I can tell you right now, the nose is richer, much more sherried, a little bit of citrus. It's a nice nose. On the palate, creamy, sherried, less sherried than the 12-year-old sherry oak, but the oak that's present on the palate is very interesting. Good tasting. Complex. I think of kitchen spices like tarragon, thyme, a little bit of paprika. It's really good. The finish is long, and you get some other really exotic kitchen spices intermingling with the sherry, the oak, and English cream, black currant. It's good. Now, what are those poor Canadians and people in the UK suffering with? 40% alcohol. What's the difference? Don't you love that sound? The nose is weaker. It's definitely not as noticeable. Like, it's not as pronounced in the sherry. It's less currant citrus. The nose is faded, and I think because it's been watered down. Now, on the palate, for you in the UK and Canada and probably the export market of the world, other than the US, it's a bit lighter, it's a bit thinner, still very good. You have a nice balance going between the oak, the sherry, cream, tarragon, fine oak. I like this better than the 12-year-old sherry oak, even at 43%, which I had recently. I found the Macallan 12-year-old sherry oak really kind of boring, uninspiring. Tasted good, balanced, but simple. For a 12-year-old single malt sherry bomb, I kind of expected a bit of panache, a bit of more kick and complexity. The sherry oak didn't deliver that. This on the finish has nice cream, wood char, a little bit of spring water, some limestone. It's very good. So, in the US, this is about $55. In Canada, oh, you poor Canadians, it's $100. The UK, I don't know. I think about 47 pounds. What can I say? I recommend it. I think this is a good step forward for Edrington. I think Macallan might be turning the corner by going back to age statement Scotch whiskey. No age statement allows for inferior young whiskey to get into the blend, and it disappoints. Macallan is moving forward. I recommend this. For Americans, the price is right, $55. A couple of years from now, this will be a dated video, but it'll still be affordable. Canada, $98, $100. It's a bit steep, but it's very good. Again, thank you for tuning in, and leave me a comment about what you would like to have reviewed next. Take care.